Before you spend your pennies, take a closer look. The 1999, 2004, and 2013 Lincoln cents could be worth way more than face value. With rare mint errors, double dies, or high-grade condition, these pennies can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Always check your change. You might already be holding a valuable coin without even knowing it. The 1999 1-cent penny is one of the most intriguing modern coins for collectors, not because of its ordinary face value or design, but because of the fascinating errors that slipped through the U.S. Mint during that year. While millions of pennies are struck annually, a handful of them stand apart due to minting mistakes, making them rare treasures worth far more than a single cent. For coin enthusiasts and collectors alike, the 1999 Lincoln cent has become an exciting focus of study, with error varieties that have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auctions. To start with some background, the Lincoln cent has been a part of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the familiar portrait of Lincoln, facing right, with the inscriptions "I in God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date to the right. The reverse, in 1999, still featured the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo in 1959. This design had replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse and was used until 2008, when it gave way to the bicentennial reverses and later the Union Shield design. On the memorial reverse, United States of America is inscribed across the top, with E pluribus unum below, the Lincoln Memorial in the center, and 1 cent at the bottom. If you look closely at this design, you can even see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln within the memorial, a detail that collectors often marvel at. By 1999, the penny was being struck in huge numbers, with billions of pieces entering circulation from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These coins were composed of copper-plated zinc, a change first implemented in 1982 when the mint transitioned from solid bronze to a cheaper composition. The core of the coin is 97.5% zinc, while the outer plating is 2.5% copper, giving it the traditional appearance of earlier pennies while reducing production costs. With so many coins being struck on high-speed presses, it is no surprise that errors occasionally occurred, and in 1999 some of these mistakes created coins that collectors now prize as modern rarities. One of the most famous error types for the 1999 Lincoln cent is the wide AM reverse variety. This is not technically a minting mistake in the sense of a mechanical accident, but rather a design variety that collectors often treat as an error worth hunting. On the reverse of most 1999 pennies, the letters A and M in America are very close together, almost touching. However, on some coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the A and M are spaced farther apart, showing a distinct wide AM. This happened because the mint accidentally used a proof reverse die intended for collector coins on circulation strikes. The wide AM variety is very collectible and can bring strong premiums, with examples in high mint state grades selling for $25,500 or more. Even circulated wide AM cents are worth several dollars, making them a favorite find for roll searchers. Another fascinating error connected to 1999 Lincoln cents involves double dies. A double die occurs when the design on a die is impressed more than once by the hub at slightly different angles, causing parts of the design to appear doubled on the finished coin. While the most famous double die cents are from 1955, 1969s, 1972, and 1995, 1999 also produced some noteworthy examples. Doubling on the obverse can sometimes be seen on the date, the motto "I in God We Trust," or the word "Liberty." On the reverse, doubling may show on the inscriptions or even within the details of the Lincoln Memorial. A strong double die from 1999 can sell for several $100s, depending on condition and visibility of the doubling. Collectors love these varieties because they offer a dramatic visual difference from normal coins. Of course, the 1999 penny is also known for more traditional minting errors such as off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be struck only partially on the coin. Small off-center strikes of 5% to 10% are interesting but not especially valuable. However, dramatic off-center strikes of 40% to 60%, especially those where the date is still visible, can be worth between $34,150 and $36,400. These coins are visually striking, showing a large blank crescent along with a misaligned portrait of Lincoln. Collectors prize them for their unusual appearance and rarity. Broad strikes are another type of error seen on 1999 Lincoln cents. This occurs when the collar that normally contains the metal during striking fails, allowing the planchet to expand outward. The result is a coin that looks larger than normal with a distorted rim. Broad strikes can be worth between $4,150 and $4,300, depending on condition and how dramatic the effect is. Some broad strikes are so extreme that the coin appears almost like a different denomination, making them especially appealing to collectors. Wrong planchet errors are among the rarest and most valuable for 1999 cents. In some cases, blanks intended for other denominations, like dimes or foreign coins, were accidentally fed into the presses. When struck with Lincoln cent dies, the result is a coin with the design of a penny but the size and weight of another denomination. A 1999 penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, would be smaller, lighter, and missing parts of the design. Such errors are incredibly rare and can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. One example of a Lincoln cent struck on a dime planchet from another year sold for over $42,000, and collectors speculate that 1999 examples would bring similar or even higher prices. Clipped planchets are another intriguing variety from this year. During the process of punching blanks out of large sheets of metal, the punches sometimes overlap, creating planchets with missing sections. When struck, the resulting coin has a noticeable crescent-shaped clip along its edge. Depending on the size and shape of the clip, a 1999 clipped planchet penny could be worth between $11.75 and $12,150. Double or triple clips are even rarer and can bring significantly more. Die cracks and die breaks are also interesting error varieties seen on 1999 Lincoln cents. As dies wear down from heavy use, they sometimes develop cracks or even pieces that break off entirely. Coins struck with these dies show raised lines or blobs of metal where the cracks were. While minor die cracks may only add a few dollars to a coin's value, dramatic die breaks, sometimes called cuds, can bring $7,250 to $75,000, depending on their size and visibility. Collectors love these errors because they represent the physical wear and tear of the minting process captured permanently on a coin. Struck through errors also appear on 1999 cents. These occur when a foreign object like a piece of cloth, a bit of wire, or grease becomes trapped between the die and the planchet during striking. The object either leaves an impression in the coin or causes part of the design to appear weak or missing. A strong struck-through error can be quite valuable, ranging from $8,500 to $9,250, depending on how dramatic it is. Coins struck through retained objects, where the foreign material remains embedded in the coin, can be worth even more. Auction results tell the story of just how collectible 1999 Lincoln cent errors can be. For example, a wide AM variety in mint state 67 once sold for nearly $600 at auction. A dramatic 50% off-center strike with the date fully visible realized over $20,400. A broad strike error in superb condition brought $22,200, while a 1999 cent struck on a dime planchet sold for more than $42,000. These sales show the incredible demand for error coins from this year and the willingness of collectors to pay top dollar for rare examples. Even without dramatic errors, 1999 pennies in pristine condition can be valuable. Most coins from that year entered circulation immediately and suffered wear and tear. Finding one in mint state 67 or higher is challenging, and collectors will pay strong premiums for such high-grade pieces. In fact, top-graded 1999 Lincoln cents without errors have sold for over $12,100, proving that condition alone can make even a modern coin valuable. In the end, the 1999 Lincoln cent error coins serve as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most ordinary objects carry extraordinary secrets. Whether it's a wide AM variety, a dramatic double die, an off-center strike, or a coin struck on the wrong planchet, each of these errors transforms a common penny into a rare and valuable collectible. For those who treasure history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery, the 1999 penny is a small but mighty symbol of the hidden value waiting in everyday change. The 2004 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that most Americans have seen countless times without a second thought. To most people, it's just a penny, a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that barely buys anything on its own anymore. But within the world of coin collecting, the 2004 Lincoln penny can hold surprises. Minting errors that slipped past quality control at the United States Mint can make this little coin worth far more than 1 cent. Some errors are dramatic, with off-center designs or clipped planchets. Others are subtle, like double dies or die cracks, but to the trained eye, they're fascinating treasures. Collectors across the United States have discovered that the ordinary-looking 2004 penny in their change can actually be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars when errors are present. To understand the 2004 penny and why errors make it so exciting, it helps to look back at its history. The Lincoln cent is one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features the bust of Lincoln, while the reverse in 2004 still carried the famous Lincoln Memorial design, which was first added in 1959. The Memorial reverse was in use until 2008, replaced later by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Union Shield reverses. By 2004, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly a century, making it a familiar sight in the pockets and purses of Americans everywhere. The 2004 penny was struck at 2 main facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint with a D mint mark. Combined, these mints produced billions of pennies that year. With such massive numbers, mistakes inevitably occurred, and it is these mistakes that collectors prize. The 2004 penny, like many modern coins, was made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. This composition can sometimes create unique mint errors, especially when the plating doesn't bond correctly or when the coin is struck improperly. One of the most eye-catching errors on the 2004 penny is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet, the blank piece of metal, fails to seat properly in the coining press before being struck. As a result, part of the design ends up missing, with blank space where the details should be. Small off-center errors may not be worth much, but when a coin is struck 50% off-center and still shows the date, values can range from $41,100 to $42,500 or more. These coins look dramatic and are easy for even beginners to spot, which is why they're so popular in the collecting world. Another highly collectible error found on 2004 pennies is the double die. A double die occurs during the die-making process, when the design is impressed onto the die more than once but not in perfect alignment. This results in doubling on the letters, numbers, or parts of the design. For 2004 pennies, double die varieties have been reported on the obverse lettering, particularly in God We Trust and Liberty, as well as on the date. These double details create a shadow-like effect that makes the coin stand out. Depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's condition, such errors can bring anywhere from $42,250 to several $100s, especially if graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Clipped planchets are another error type that makes some 2004 pennies valuable. During the blank cutting process, if the punch overlaps an already cut area, the blank will end up with a crescent-shaped clip. Once struck, the penny will have a visibly missing portion. Clipped planchet errors can be worth $32,230 to $34,150, with dramatic or multiple clips bringing even higher values. Collectors enjoy these because they are highly visible and easily recognizable. Perhaps the most dramatic errors on 2004 pennies are wrong planchet strikes. These occur when a penny design is struck on a blank meant for another denomination, or sometimes even for a foreign coin. Imagine a penny struck on a dime planchet. It would be smaller, thinner, and lighter than normal. Or a penny struck on a blank meant for a nickel, making it larger and heavier than it should be. Wrong planchet errors are rare, but when they do appear, they can sell for thousands of dollars. For example, wrong planchet pennies from other years have fetched over $25,000 at major auctions, so a 2004 example could be just as valuable. Die cracks and die cuts are also seen on 2004 Lincoln cents. As dies wear out, they can develop cracks, which transfer raised lines onto the coins. When a piece of the die breaks off completely, a cud forms, leaving a raised blob of extra metal on the coin. Minor die cracks might only add $550 to $900 to the value, but dramatic die cuts can raise the price of a 2004 penny into the $17,200 range or higher. Each cud is unique, giving these coins a one-of-a-kind appeal. Repunched mint marks, or RPMs, can sometimes be found on Denver-minted 2004 pennies. Even though the mint mark punching process was becoming more standardized, repunched varieties occasionally occurred. These show the D mint mark struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a doubled effect. Strong RPM examples can bring $3,450 to $4,150, depending on their clarity and condition. Auction results give us a glimpse into the real-world value of these errors. While most 2004 pennies in circulation are only worth 1 cent, dramatic errors have sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Off-center pennies from the early 2000s have sold in the $14,250 to $18,400 range at heritage auctions. Double die examples certified in high grades have gone for $16,200 to $17,600. Wrong planchet pennies remain the top prizes, with sales ranging from $51,000 to over $55,000, depending on the exact nature of the error and the coin's condition. Condition is a critical factor in determining how much a 2004 penny error is worth. Coins that are worn, scratched, or heavily circulated will bring less money than those in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors value sharp details, original luster, and eye appeal. This is why grading services like PCGS and NGC play such an important role in the coin market. Having an error coin authenticated and graded can increase buyer confidence and maximize value. The 2004 penny also falls within an interesting period of Lincoln cent history. It was among the last years to feature the Lincoln Memorial reverse, as changes were just a few years away. Collectors often look at these early 2000s pennies as part of the end of an era, especially since the Union Shield design took over in 2010. Errors from this period are not only rare but also represent a snapshot of minting history right before a major design change. What makes error coins so fascinating is the sense of discovery they bring. Every time someone checks their pocket change, there's the possibility of finding something unusual. A person who spots a double die or clipped planchet on a 2004 penny has essentially uncovered a miniature treasure. Stories of people finding error coins in circulation that later sell for hundreds of dollars are not uncommon, and they inspire more people to look closely at their coins. The 2004 Lincoln cent error coins remind us that sometimes the most ordinary-looking objects hold hidden surprises. A penny may not seem like much, but with the right error, it becomes a collectible worth far more than its face value. For collectors, these mistakes aren't imperfections. They're opportunities. Rare quirks that turn everyday coins into prized possessions. So the next time you see a 2004 penny, don't dismiss it as just another cent. Take a closer look. Inspect the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the overall design. Look for doubling, cracks, missing sections, or unusual size and weight. You never know, what looks like a simple coin could actually be a rare error worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And that's the magic of coin collecting. The thrill of finding value in the unexpected. Because at the end of the day, the 2004 penny is more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry a story, a mistake, and a value far greater than anyone might imagine. The 2013 1-cent penny might seem like just another coin from your pocket change, a piece of copper-plated zinc that most people don't give a second thought to. But in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest details can transform an ordinary penny into something extraordinary. In fact, error coins from 2013 have become highly sought after by collectors, with certain mistakes boosting their values from a single cent to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. These coins are a reminder that imperfection sometimes brings the greatest rewards, and the story of the 2013 penny errors shows why people continue to search through their change with hopeful eyes. To understand why these coins matter, let's start with the basics. By 2013, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for over a century. First issued in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny has gone through several design changes but has always remained one of the most iconic U.S. coins. Since 1982, the penny has been struck primarily from a zinc core coated in copper, giving it the look of the older bronze pennies but with cheaper production costs. The obverse of the 2013 penny features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a unified nation. Now, the mint strikes billions of pennies each year, and with such massive production, errors are bound to slip through. Most pennies are struck exactly as intended, but the small percentage that contain flaws are what captivate collectors. In 2013, several types of errors occurred, and these are the coins that turn a 1-cent piece into a treasure point. One of the most exciting categories of 2013 penny errors is the double die. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is improperly prepared, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. On 2013 pennies, collectors have identified doubling on the inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Sometimes the doubling is dramatic and visible to the naked eye, and other times it requires magnification to notice. Strong double die examples can bring $21,100 to $23,500 at auction, while minor ones might sell for $20 to $50. The thrill of spotting these doubled letters is what keeps collectors looking closely at every 2013 penny they encounter. Another highly prized error is the off-center strike. If the blank planchet isn't perfectly aligned with the dies, the coin will be struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and an unusual blank crescent on the coin. Slightly off-center pennies might be worth $4,520 to $6,840, but dramatic off-center strikes, say 50% or more, especially with the date visible, can fetch $24,200 or more. One particularly striking 2013 off-center penny sold for over $25,300 because it showed both Lincoln's portrait and the Union Shield partially missing, making it a true standout piece. Broad strike errors are also found in 2013 pennies. These occur when the collar die, which normally holds the coin in place and forms its rim, malfunctions. The result is a penny that looks larger and stretched out, often with a smooth edge instead of the usual raised rim. Collectors love these coins for their odd appearance, and broad strikes typically sell for $4,650 to $5,150 depending on condition. Clipped planchet errors are among the most visually striking mistakes. These happen when the blank metal strip from which the coin blanks are punched overlaps improperly, resulting in a coin with a curved bite missing from its edge. A single clip might bring $3,440 to $3,750, while double or triple clips can command several $100s. In 2013 pennies, these clips are particularly appealing because they often leave enough of the design intact to still be recognizable, while showing off the error clearly. Wrong planchet errors are rare, but when they appear, they make headlines in the coin world. This occurs when a penny design is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination. Imagine a 2013 penny struck on a dime or nickel planchet. The weight and size would be different, and collectors pay huge premiums for such mistakes. A 2013 penny on a dime planchet once sold for over $31,500, and if a foreign planchet was involved, the value could climb even higher. These coins are so rare that finding one is like winning the lottery, but they do exist. Die cracks and cuds are another category that excites collectors. Over time, the dies used to strike coins develop wear and even cracks. When this happens, raised lines or blobs of metal appear on the struck coins. A small die crack might only add a few dollars of value, but large cuds, where a piece of the die breaks off completely and leaves a dramatic raised area, can be worth $32,100 to $34,300. In 2013 pennies, cuds often appear near the rim or on Lincoln's portrait, and they are immediately noticeable. Perhaps the most famous type of 2013 penny error, however, is the shield design doubling found on some examples. This error shows doubling within the intricate lines of the shield on the reverse, making the detail appear almost blurry. Because the shield design is so crisp on normal pennies, any doubling stands out sharply. Collectors have paid $28,200 to $29,400 for strong examples of this error in high-grade condition. Auction results demonstrate just how valuable 2013 penny errors can be. A dramatic off-center strike with the date fully visible sold for $310. A clipped planchet example with 2 clean clips went for $275. A broad strike penny in uncirculated condition fetched $5,120. And the rare wrong planchet example, struck on a dime blank, hammered at $8,560, proving that even the tiniest coin can command a four-figure price when an error is involved. What makes the 2013 penny particularly interesting is the timing. By this point, the mint had been striking coins with modern technology for decades, and error rates were far lower than in earlier years. Yet mistakes still slipped through. This means that error coins from 2013 are scarcer than from earlier decades, and scarcity always boosts collector demand. Add in the fact that pennies remain the most widely recognized and collected U.S. coin, and you have a recipe for strong interest. For the everyday person, the idea that a 1-cent coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars is almost unbelievable. Yet, collectors know that these coins are out there waiting to be discovered. Stories circulate of people finding double-die pennies in circulation or spotting a clipped planchet in a jar of spare change. Every year, new examples come to light, and each one reinforces the importance of checking even the smallest coins carefully. The fascination with error coins comes down to their uniqueness. Every error tells a story of how the minting process went awry, whether through human oversight, machine malfunction, or sheer coincidence. Unlike mass-produced coins that are identical, each error coin is essentially one of a kind. That individuality is what makes them so appealing to collectors and so valuable at auction. In the case of the 2013 penny, the combination of a modern coin, a popular design, and the presence of dramatic errors creates a perfect storm of collectability. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, a broad strike, a clipped planchet, a cud, or the ultra-rare wrong planchet strike, each error adds a new layer of interest to the humble penny. The next time you receive a handful of change, don't overlook the pennies. Take a closer look at the date, the inscriptions, and the details of the design. That 2013 penny in your hand might not just be worth 1 cent. It could be a rare error worth hundreds or even more. The beauty of coin collecting lies in discovery, and the 2013 penny error coins are proof that treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. In the end, the story of the 2013 1-cent penny error coins is one of surprise, rarity, and opportunity. It shows that even in a time of advanced minting technology, mistakes happen, and those mistakes can change the value of a coin forever. For collectors, they represent history, excitement, and the possibility of finding a hidden gem where no one else thought to look. That's the magic of error coins, and that's why the 2013 penny will always have a special place in numismatic lore.